Hey everyone, this is Daniel,
And I'm Jun,
and we are
Korean.
American.
And Gorong.
June, that was early. No? I don't know. June, how's your weekend?
It's been good. What have I done? Oh, I went to a housewarming party
Oh,
for one of my band members.
mm-hmm.
Have I ever talked about this in our podcast?
I don't think so. Yeah.
I'm actually in an amateur band
Mm.
with my former coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
I play the drums.
Yeah. Quite well.
Oh, thank you.
I went to one of your
yeah,
performances.
yes.
Yeah. True fan.
Yeah, so actually the vocal guy, or like we have two vocals.
Mm-hmm.
They're a married couple.
Yeah.
So they recently moved into a new house.
Ah, congratulations.
Yeah, they bought it.
Oh, wow.
So
It's a big deal in
congratulations.
Korea, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a big milestone.
It's a huge milestone in America, too.
Yeah, so they had a housewarming party. So that was my Saturday.
Mm.
Yeah. And then my Sunday was pretty chill, doing nothing, which I love.
Nice.
Yeah. How's yours?
How's the weather, June?
What?
Can you tell what I'm doing?
How's the weather? How's the weather?
Yeah.
Did you go golfing?
No.
Wait.
It's been nice, though. Weather's nice.
Oh, it's been like, do you know that there are days, like traditional calendar days in Korean, where it literally says like end of fall, or like end of summer, starting of fall or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It matches the agriculture culture,
Yeah.
and it's surprisingly accurate.
Uh-huh.
So right after, I think the day is called Choso.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have done more research, but like, I think it means that.
June, you can't do research on this. You didn't know we were going to talk about this.
Well, it kind of means that the actually really hot days are over, and literally after that day,
It cooled down?
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't it interesting?
Wait, so I have a question about
But it did
this.
cool down.
Is it like the same day every year? And that's, the official end of summer, start of fall? Or is it kind of farmer almanac style? Like this is when it's predicted to actually cool down?
Yes and no,
Uh-huh.
because it is the same day every year,
Oh, okay.
but it's in the lunar calendar, so it's a different
A
day.
little bit. Got
Yeah.
it. Mm-hmm. Cool.
So why are you asking about the weather? Because it cooled down.
No, June, this is a typical American small talk topics.
Oh, that's what you were getting at.
Uh,
No, people don't start with how's the weather. That's like the most
no,
boring
literally
opening.
you talk about the weather, June.
Really?
Yeah.
But like, how do you do that in San Diego?
It's so easy, June.
Because it's the same weather every day.
No, but it's not. It's all relative. It's like, oh man, it was a little cloudy yesterday, huh?
Does it ever get cloudy in
It
San
does,
Diego?
it does.
Okay.
Or, when it hits 80, which again, I feel pressure now to do the Celsius conversion. But even when it's like, let's say 25, they're like, oh, it's so hot. It's like, yeah, it's been hot, man. And it's struggling. Yeah.
Like the only Fahrenheit reference that I have is that 98 degrees is the temperature of a human body, right?
98.6. Yeah.
Okay. I only know that because there was a boy band called 98 Degrees. Do you remember 98 Degrees?
Of course I know 98 degrees.
Yeah.
But is their band name in reference to the human body temperature?
Yeah, I think because the rationale is that their music is the closest to the warmth of your body.
Is that really?
That's what I thought.
Okay, I'm going to look up the meaning behind their name. Because, in my mind, 98 degrees, I just, that's my reference for like, it's just getting hot.
No, I think it's referencing the human body temperature.
Then they should have been 98.6. Okay, where can I find the meaning behind the name? There we go. Oh, you're absolutely right, yeah. Okay, wait, okay. We're both right. The name 98 degrees refers to both what was then commonly accepted number for the temperature of the average human body and the steamy nature of the group's R&B indebted music.
Wait, so the 0.6 came after, saying like at the time.
Yeah.
So
that might be what it's implying.
Like during the 90s, American people totally
degrees.
didn't know the 0.6
98.6.
existed.
That's hard for me to say.
Interesting.
It's always been 98.6.
It's a very interesting way to phrase it. Like at the time.
Yeah. No, this
as
is
if
clearly
as if humanity just realized the 0.6 exists.
But it's also, again, highlighting the steamy nature. So it is kind of hot. Yeah. So
I
we were
see.
both right.
I see.
Cool. But yeah, so June, I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to do an episode on small talk.
Yes.
Because it seems, at least based on the comments, that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of Koreans write.
Yeah.
And also in general, just my experience living in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Koreans really, they're
Yeah.
not down to small talk.
We made a separate reels about how you missed the small talk culture when you
Random
went back to
socialization.
Korea.
Yeah.
When you went back to the US, and like there were a lot of comments, mostly about like how they still dread small talk.
Yeah.
Definitely for Koreans, but also surprisingly for people who seemingly sound like Korean Americans or Americans.
Yeah.
They say that they still dread small talk.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Asian American thing.
I do think it's a common sentiment across all Americans. Well, of course, nothing is universal, but a lot of Americans don't like it either. They think, what's the point? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think anyone who's grown up in America can do it very well. Yeah. So a lot of people don't like to do it. Some people love it. I think the extroverts.
Then why do they do it?
It's just the culture, June.
If you say that a lot of people
Yeah.
don't like to do it,
Yeah.
like why don't they just like
Stop.
can you guys talk to each other
Like a social contract that we're just going to stop small
and then
talk?
create a consensus that this actually doesn't really make sense?
No, June, that type of change, it takes a long time in America for something like that to happen, I think.
The thing I find most challenging about small talk in general is that the way that I have to react to other people's.
So it's the reaction, not the...
Yeah, I can
not the
talk
talking.
about what I did.
Uh-huh,
I think I'm more comfortable in that.
uh-huh.
The more challenging part for me is the reaction that I have to make, because like most of the time they're going to talk about what they did,
Yeah.
like during the weekends or like during summer break or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person who's genuinely not that interested
I see.
in people, what they did. Like to start with in general,
Yeah.
but also people that I just met,
Yeah.
right? Like
Then
I
you
would
care
be
even less,
I would
yeah.
be more interested in like what you did
Yeah.
in the past weekend.
Uh-huh.
And like I can actually, you know how like I'm really bad at pretending a certain reaction,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So it's like it feels so forced because I always have to say like, "Oh, that's super interesting,"
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's exciting or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Which I don't find
How
interesting that much. Yeah.
I never heard that. It's the reaction more than the talking that is difficult for
At least for
Koreans.
me it is. Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you genuinely find it interesting about what people did or are planning to do,
Yeah. I've never thought about
especially
this
for
before.
people who you just met?
And will likely never meet again. Yeah, I mean, I've never thought about this before. I would say my reactions and expressions are genuine, but now I'm questioning whether it's because it's just the culture and the socialization of growing up in the U.S.
Yeah.
or whether I like deep down really do care.
Yeah.
I want to say I really do care about that random stranger and how they're doing, I guess.
Because
I
like
do.
probability wise,
Yeah.
there must be times when you thought that it's not interesting, right? Because like
To be honest, I don't even think about that. I'm not thinking like, oh, is this interesting or not? It's just, again, this is the role you play. And it's the socialization aspect of it. I don't know.
you're saying that it's so ingrained.
It's
in your
so
body.
ingrained.
Yeah.
I really can't even distinguish whether I really care or whether I'm pretending to care because I should care. Does that make sense?
Oh, I think that's
Yeah.
that's actually pretty positive.
At least for me, I think I genuinely do care.
Like that's to a point where you don't even know if you actually care or not.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're
I think I
always
do.
giving a positive reaction. I think that's pretty good.
It doesn't always have
I
to be
wouldn't call
positive.
that forced.
Yeah, some people bring up small talk that's quite depressing.
Yeah.
But then you genuinely show concern. It's like, oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. That must have been so hard. Or, I can relate because you just keep it going. So.
That's cool. So
But June, wait,
yeah.
why? So you gave one reason why you personally don't like it.
Hmm.
In general, why do you think Koreans struggle or really, what's the right word, don't look forward to small talk or have a hard time with it?
I think in general, Korean people, I think one of the biggest differences in terms of how people connect to each other, I think this is like one of the common themes that we talk a lot about in our podcast,
Yeah.
but it's like all relational. And so you have different personas based on different people that you interact with. Like I guess like you have like your work June and you have like your podcast June
Yeah.
and you have like your band June or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's very distinct, much more distinct in Korea
Yeah.
versus the US.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk to
Completely
random
agree.
strangers, you don't know how to register yourself. Like you don't know what kind of persona.
Because there's no relationship,
Yeah.
therefore you have no,
And you don't
you have like
even
a
know
stranger
how
persona.
exactly. And you
Which
don't know
is,
how much you want to reveal
yes, okay.
yourself. Like and
Yeah.
that part I think is very confusing
Yeah.
and kind of challenging to Koreans. Yeah.
So that part, I was going to bring up two things. That was the first thing that I've noticed.
Yeah.
And I was going to say Koreans are generally just very private
Yeah.
with their lives. So at work, for example, you don't talk necessarily about your friends and social happenings. If it's not related to work, you don't bring it up.
Yes.
Right? And then, as an American, I find that very, that disconnect is strange. Of course, you're not going to bring up like, certain things if
Yeah.
it's not appropriate for work. But in general, June, if you were coworkers in America, right, I would know you do a band,
Yeah.
you do a podcast, right? Like I would know a lot of things about you because you would be sharing.
Yeah.
But in Korea, I think it's more private.
Yeah, I think like there's like a default persona, right?
Yeah.
And your default persona for Koreans before actually establishing the relationship is pretty much private.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The second thing I was going to bring up is, again, Korea being very utilitarian focused. What's the utility in small talk? Again, especially if you're never going to see them again. Like, what's the point? It just seems kind of like a waste of time.
I think that's a very good observation. I think when you frame it as like networking, I think Korean people would be very more active in socializing. They call it like networking.
Oh, they call it, yeah.
And like if they realize the utilitarian value
Yeah.
of like why we're socializing, I think they would be much more comfortable in it. Especially, yeah, exactly. When you feel that like it's gonna be like at some point in your life, it's gonna be in good use that you know this person, right?
Well, in that sense, June, I found Koreans are very good at networking.
Yes.
I've said this before. Every time I meet a random person, I feel like they're almost sizing me up. Like, oh, can this person be valuable to me later on?
Yeah.
And if so, then they'll be very friendly. But if not, they'll be very cold.
Yeah. But I think there's a underlying concept of that in the US too, right?
Of
Because there are
course,
like a lot
of
of
course,
networking.
yeah.
They literally calling networking events,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like, why would they do it? Not just to make friends, right? It's just to know each other, to make use of it.
I would say the difference, June, is in America, even if you don't think this person's going to be very useful to you or utilitarian to you down
Yeah.
the road, you're at least nice. Whereas I feel in Korea, they will just stop talking to you and like move on very aggressively.
Really?
Yeah, at least that's been my experience.
I see.
Again, on the very surface, they'll feign politeness, but you can very quickly tell that subtle shift. And like, oh, this is, they're trying to size you up, and then they've seen, okay, this is not going to be useful. June, I've never thought about this before, but in an individualistic society like the US, where there's no, let's say, collective, common culture, understanding, etc., small talk, I think, is necessary to establish, like, hey, are we friendly? Are we good? Can I trust you? Whereas in Korea, I don't know, when it's more collectivist, you don't need to have small talk to establish that.
Because it's already established
Exactly. Everyone's
in a
gonna
societal level.
Exactly. Everyone's
Yeah.
gonna abide by kind of the same expectations and rules, etc. But in America, it's not. And you just putting up a friendly exterior, having small talk just to like build a common base of relationship. It's important because then it's like, oh, I can trust this person. They're nice. They're neighborly. They're not trying to get me, right? So
I see.
I think it's more necessary. But again, I've never really thought about this before.
Okay, so today we want to try small talking with other people.
Yes.
And how do we do that?
How are we gonna do
Without
that,
actually
Jim?
walking into a bar or whatnot. So we found this really interesting app where
Yeah.
we can simulate the small talking environment,
Yeah.
which is called Connecting.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting because it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to say this, but my immediate reaction was like, this is like chat roulette, but in the audio form.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Because like chat roulette has like I feel like it has like a sexual undertone. Because
Oh,
that's the way a lot of people used it. I don't know if they exist anymore. But like I remember when I was in grad school in
Yeah.
the US,
Yeah.
Because we pull a lot of all-nighters because I went to architecture school.
Yeah.
And like during midnight when people were people were going kind of insane because they're too tired.
Yeah.
One of our entertainments, because like back in the days when I was in grad school, the chat roulette was like the thing that was kind of like a thing that they just launched, right?
Yeah. So some like random distraction that you could do.
And
It
so
was like a novelty.
for fun,
Yeah.
we used to like go into chat roulette and like everyone like are behind
As a group.
the camera, and like we see people doing very inappropriate things and like we make fun of them
Okay.
as a group,
Yeah.
like wow,
Yeah.
together.
Man, June, architecture school sounds wild.
But I don't know if they exist anymore. But like my first reaction was like, oh, this is like audio format chat roulette.
Yeah.
But after I started using it, I think it's like the really good thing is that I feel like not a lot of people use it in that way. They like genuinely want to connect to
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
So that like the other day I tried using connecting and I got connected to like this older Korean lady.
Yeah.
And we talked about making kimchi.
Yeah.
And I felt like so I did it on the way from work to my house, which was about like 10 minutes or so.
Oh, you were walking and talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it made my walk back home a lot more pleasant. And it was very interesting to
Jun.
learn about the ways that other people make kimchi.
Isn't random socialization so great? No, really.
For 10 minutes it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I mean, that most small talk in the US lasts like 2 minutes. And there's no expectation it keeps going or whatever. Yeah.
Are you sure it lasts for 2 minutes?
Well, I mean, it can last longer.
How do you cut it off though? Do you have a trick?
No, I mean, normally it's kind of organic, like
I
you're
see.
going different ways or,
Ah.
sorry, I just got to do this now. And they understand.
Oh, I see.
You just give that cue. Yeah. But you're right. I've been on plane rides where I've talked to my next person for
Oh.
6 hours straight.
That's my biggest nightmare.
Uh,
If the person sitting next to
You
me
can't
starts talking to
escape.
me, oh my god, I have to do this for 12 hours.
June, I'm your biggest nightmare then. As I've gotten older, I do it less.
I see.
But as like in my 20s.
or as you started living in Korea.
More Korean. No, that's not it. That's not it. Even in the US, I think I did it less and less. But in my 20s, I would just talk nonstop on the plane with whoever.
Wow, it's very impressive.
Wait, June, I'm
Yeah.
quickly looking up chat roulette.
They still exist.
They are still around, I believe. And there are some, you're definitely right. There are some things when it first launched that, it says, quote, nudity has been established as part of the site's notoriety. 8 out of 10 spins yielded R-rated content. So I guess that was this.
8 out of 10.
That was some of the early stigma.
I see.
But nowadays people do use it almost as a verb of like, hey, just spin the reel, like random person matching. So it's become a verb in that sense.
I see.
So yeah, I agree. Connecting in a sense feels like an audio only chat roulette.
Have you used connecting?
Yes,
Okay.
I did. At first I thought it'd be fun to, I don't know, try practicing Korean and maybe if they were interested in practicing English. But yeah, I quickly found that not as many people were excited to do that as I thought.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, but it was still really fun, and in general, I like the idea of it. So
And as a designer, I think their design quality is pretty good too.
Oh, yeah?
Like their UX is pretty neat.
yeah, I found it pretty usable too.
Yeah.
And I have my gripes about Korean apps in general, but I thought it was pretty well done too.
What are your gripes?
In general, we've talked about it before.
I know,
yeah.
but I just want to.
I think Korean apps are very cluttered.
Yes.
They're trying to do too much. Some of the menus are just like 50 text descriptions.
Yeah.
And then you click in, it's another 50 sub options. You click in another 50 sub options.
Yeah.
And again, for me, not being a native Korean reader, it's just overwhelming. So I know that plays in. To be clear, like some American apps are like this too. But I think Korean apps just try to do everything super feature rich, very text dense.
Yeah.
Which again, in America, I just want very simple, short words. And yeah, other things are just more standards. Korean apps use red to indicate importance, whereas American apps use red to indicate error. So a lot of times it'll just be like, oh my God, I did something wrong. There's this big red text. But it's just saying like, Hagin, like, I'm just confirming this has been done.
I see.
But it's in red, so I think it's an error. Anyway,
Ah.
stuff like that. But yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
So-
the pop-ups. Oh my gosh, June. The
The
pop-ups are
pop-ups?
out of control.
Too many
Even
pop-ups?
in my banking app in Korea,
Yeah.
as soon as they open it, it's like some pop-up advertising some feature, and I have to exit out
Yeah.
like an annoying mobile app.
I
Out
have,
of control, yeah.
I have my own gripes about pop-ups,
Yeah.
especially on Coupang. 'Cause-
Especially in like a banking app, June.
Yeah.
Come on, that's to me inappropriate. Yeah.
I hate the first pop-up that always comes up when you open up Coupang.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Hmm.
I suspect. I suspect it's
Well-
because they're like almost too data driven.
It's
And
good
if
for
you-
the metrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Good for
so
the numbers.
it's very difficult to prove that it's not good when the metrics are that good, right? Yeah. So that's like one of the things that I feel like is a flaw about too much data driven.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are we gonna do random socialization and small talk here
Uh-huh.
in our studio?
Yes, June's apartment.
Yes, is we're gonna try to use connecting to actually connect to random strangers.
Yeah, this will be fun.
Yeah, and see, like, let's see how Daniel does small talk. Because
I'm an expert,
yeah,
admittedly.
to be transparent, I'm not really good at small talk. And I'm just gonna go with the flow.
Okay.
But like, let's see how an American does small talk. Yeah, so we're gonna use connecting to do that.
Yes.
Yes.
As a disclaimer,
Yes.
this is our first collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
And should we say paid content?
Sponsored content.
Sponsored content.
Yeah.
So this is a collaboration with Connecting.
Mm-hmm.
But June, again, we've gotten many reach outs before.
Yeah.
And Connecting was the first one that felt very on theme and aligned with our podcast mission.
Yeah.
Which, again, to refresh our listeners, maybe some of our newer ones, every week we tackle one topic and approach it from an American perspective and a Korean perspective. And at least my goal is to just bring a broader awareness to both ourselves, but also our listeners along with us, that there's many different ways to think about something. And neither is necessarily right or wrong.
Yes.
They're just different, and there's a reason why they're different. And it always comes from some, root cultural difference. Right? The most popular always being collectivist societies versus individualistic societies.
Yeah.
But there's all sorts of reasons why things are different.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that one is necessarily right or wrong. So I think Connecting is very aligned with that.
Yeah.
Because you're just talking with a random stranger, and you can just use this as a chance to get their perspective, talk about your own perspective, and just see, okay, what do we as two individuals have in common? What do we have different? And just, building that broader awareness and perspective, I think is very in line with what Connecting is trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Why are you smiling?
Because the disclaimer is so long.
Anyway. Yeah, so I think, again, Connecting was an app that we both tried and felt, again, very comfortable doing this. So
Yeah. I know that it's kind of cliche these days that, when YouTubers are advertising something, they actually say that this is because we use it or not. I mean, to be clear, we never used it before, but we don't like haphazardly try to take all the opportunities to get sponsorship, right?
Yeah.
We actually used the app before and we thought that it's pretty cool and something that actually our listeners can benefit from using. So, yeah.
And then secondly, so not only can we use it to practice small talk, but June, I think I shared this with you. I think I had my first bad take on the podcast.
Yeah.
And by bad take, I would say I misrepresented what your typical American would think. And I think so far my track record has been pretty good.
Yeah.
But this was the first one where most comments and most responses were like, I don't agree.
Yeah.
And that was whether crabs is healthy or not healthy food. And I still stand by my thinking that it's not healthy. But anyway, most people think like it's at worst neutral. And I think some people even considered it healthy, kind of like, white chicken meat or something like that, which to me is shocking. Yeah. Anyway.
I actually remember another bad take from you.
Oh, what's that?
The Bow Wow thing.
Okay. So admittedly, June, I know Bow Wow. This is not revisionist history. I've always known Bow Wow is onomatopoeia for how a dog talks. But
Dog
it's just
talks.
or sounds, what
Yeah.
sounds they make.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not commonly used now.
Mm.
And so I agree that was a bad take, but I still stand by it. I think
I
bark
see.
bark and woof woof are way more
They
common.
say bark bark.
Well, what sound does a dog make? Most people would say they bark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they say woof woof.
Ah.
And bow wow, I think, is definitely a bit outdated. Yeah.
Oh, bark itself is.
Onomatopoeia. I think
Oh,
so.
I did
Yeah.
not know that. Interesting.
Bark bark. Anyway, now I'm questioning it. But you're right. That was a bad take, admittedly.
Mm-hmm.
But I stand by that. Bow wow is not the most commonly used anymore.
Okay.
But anyway, June, I thought we could also use this as a chance to practice our speaking skills. Because
Yes.
we've gotten a lot of heat from our listeners
Mm-hmm.
for saying like a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like.
We definitely realized that during editing.
Oh, it's so painful to listen.
Yeah, I say like a lot too. But this is good practice for me in general because not only for the comments, but during editing, I realize that a lot.
Yeah.
So as I record these days, I intentionally try to not say like,
Oh, you do?
kind of.
Okay.
I try to.
I don't think about it, but yeah, maybe I can use this as a chance to practice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying like, too much.
Yeah. So we're gonna connect. We're gonna try to connect to random strangers on connecting.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a twist.
Yeah, stipulation.
Yes, is that right before we get connected, we're both gonna throw a keyword to each other.
Yes.
And we're gonna try to incorporate that keyword in our conversation so that we make it more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And June, this is something that I'm taking from my previous. I think this is pretty commonly done. But on my previous company, whenever there was like a speaking panel
Oh.
and you were, doing any sort of public speaking, this is what someone says it to the person as soon as they're about to go on.
Uh-huh.
And it's both an inside joke type thing. It's
Yeah,
funny,
I
right?
see.
Because you can give them random words
Yeah,
to
yeah.
use. But secondly, I think it's a good improv skill and tool too. And it helps keep the speaker's mind off of their presentation, which makes the presentation go much more naturally and smoothly and
Really?
casually. So, yeah.
I would think that they're too fixated in trying to incorporate that word
Throws
that
them off.
it makes it more awkward. But I don't know.
It's mostly just for an inside joke.
Okay.
And it does make it more fun.
Okay.
But I think there are some benefits to it too.
I see. So I have a lot of good keywords.
Oh, okay. Well, I have to think of some. But as always, June, you're more prepared than I am. But yeah, that's going to be the episode today. We're going to have a series of these conversations with random strangers. So
Yeah.
let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Cool.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? No, I need to think of keywords.
Okay.
All right, June, ready?
Yes.
I am going to connect with a random. I will choose woman this time. All right. Let's do it.
So fun.
All right, we're connecting.
Okay. So
What's the word this
your
time?
keyword is back in my days.
Back in.
Yeah. But
Okay.
you have to say it in a true boomer
Okay.
tone.
Well, that won't be hard for me. All
back
right.
in my days.
June, your word is I was gonna go with chestnut.
No, it has to tie back to our episodes. That's what I was trying to do.
Oh, okay. That's so sophisticated. I don't know. Hygiene. Okay, you have to use the word hygiene.
Okay.
Okay, we're connected. We're connected.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, this is Daniel.
And I'm Jun.
And we are
Korean.
American. Sorry.
Oh, cool. My name's Lydia.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
hi.
hi.
Hi, Lydia.
Hi, Lydia.
Hi.
How long have you been
Do you want to
using
be closer to the mic? Yeah.
How long have you been using connecting for?
I've been using Connecting for I think a year and a half.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Wow.
you're an early adopter.
Yeah. Lydia, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Seoul right now.
Oh,
Oh,
you
you're-
are.
I'm I'm just visiting though.
Oh,
Oh.
cool.
Where are you visiting from?
I'm from New York.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
When'd you come to Korea?
I came here like last week.
Oh, last week. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're in the same time zone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Are you guys also in Seoul?
Kind of.
kind of.
Technically, no.
Oh.
We're in Gyeonggi.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Cool.
So,
How long have you been outside of Korea? Like, how long has it been since you came to Korea?
How long have I been outside of Korea?
Yeah, like how long has it been since you came to Korea?
Oh, like the last time I visited?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it was like, I think like 8 years.
oh
Oh, 8
wow, that's a long time.
years.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
like? I'm curious. What's the biggest thing that you noticed since the last time you visited? Like, what has changed? Like, what's surprising to you?
I think like the subway stations.
Mm-hmm.
What
Like,
about
the
them?
Are they
stalls, like,
clean?
it used to be.
Are they cleaner?
Oh, I don't remember. I think it was always clean.
Okay,
I
Yeah.
don't
okay.
remember.
Yeah.
But like I remember having like an orange ticket all the time to go through the gates.
Oh yeah. Oh, they even had tickets 8 years ago. I thought they went away like 10 years ago.
Oh, maybe it was.
You mean the paper tickets, right?
Yeah. Maybe it was
Oh,
longer than
wow.
10 years. Maybe it was
We
longer
used
than
to have
8 years ago.
I haven't used a paper ticket ever, I think.
Oh, really?
And I use the subway
Yeah.
every time I come.
Mm.
Interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, back in
wait, maybe it was probably longer than 8 years then. I have terrible memory. But I just remember like as like I was like in elementary school maybe, so it was longer than 8 years ago. But yeah, and then now I remember coming like people were having like T-money, and then or like they're using their phones.
This is so fun talking to.
Yeah, this app surprisingly, June, I wasn't sure if I'd be down for it.
Mhm.
But it is really fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Nice.
I think it gives Koreans a good way to just practice small talk
Mhm.
or to talk with strangers in a more casual fashion,
Yeah,
which is very much needed, I think.
Mm.
For sure.
we're trying to practice our small talk.
Oh,
No, wait, I'm not practicing
you
my
guys
small talk.
I think you guys are great at small talk.
Thank you.
June, you're practicing your small talk.
I'm practicing my small talk.
Americans
yeah.
are a pro at small talk.
Yeah. How do you what do you think about small talk
Yeah.
culture?
What do I think about small talk in general?
Was that hard
Yeah.
for you when you first moved to the US?
We don't even know if she's born in the US.
Oh, I was born in the U.S.
Oh, you were born in the US.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was born and raised like 20 years,
Oh, then that's
20
good, yeah.
something years.
So what do you think about small talk culture then?
Oh. I saw like a TikTok about like how immigrants, like how Asian immigrants, like the children of Asian immigrants don't, like they're not good at small talk
Oh.
because like a lot of white people, they like are very good at small talk. They're like talking about the weather or like stocks or like golf or like what they did over the weekend.
Mhm.
But like Asian immigrants, like their parents, first of all, like the children of immigrants, they didn't grow up watching their parents talk to other people like that, especially like in English. So they don't have someone to like learn from,
Yeah.
and it's just like awkward. And I think that's why like Asian people have this image of like being shy and quiet too, because we're also not good at small talk.
Oh, so do you think
So
that
it's-
applies to you? How would you rate your small talk skills? 0 to 1 to 10?
I'd say like my small talk skills would be like 7.
Yeah.
Could
Okay.
be better.
I can tell.
It's like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
C.
I feel like I'm like an 8. I don't know, but yeah, my parents never
Yeah.
small talked growing up.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a 3.
What?
I feel like I might be a little bit better than your average Korean.
Yeah.
But like still
Mm.
inside,
Yeah.
it's very frustrating. Because I'm generally the type of person that I'm not that interested in other people.
I see.
I get that.
Yeah, I can see that, June.
Are you an I? Are you introverted?
Oh. So actually,
we never revealed this before.
yeah, we've never revealed our MBTI yet on air. We're waiting for the right moment.
Oh, okay.
Wait, we didn't even tell her that we're a podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. So, Lydia, being an American, I'm sure you have heard of that, but have you heard of podcasts?
Yes.
Surprisingly, did you know they're not that popular in Korea?
No, yeah, I heard actually that podcasts like aren't a thing in Korea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's surprising. So one of our missions is try to educate the Korean population
Yeah.
on how awesome they are.
Oh, so you guys are a podcast?
Yeah.
We're a
Yes, we-
podcast.
Well,
You're on
that's
air.
really cool.
You're on air, by the way.
oh my God, hi everyone.
we'll get your consent later.
Hey, she said hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Cool. Going
So
back
cool.
to surprising things that you noticed from Korea,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
have you what are the things that you appreciate more about Korea than the US? Especially in the household.
Oh, in the household. Oh, like taking off my shoes. Wait, but the thing is,
Oh.
I did that in America too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really? But like in general, you think Koreans tend to care more about hygiene, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
awesome.
Yeah. You know, back in my day, it was much. You know, when I went to a lot of my friends' houses, I feel like it was pretty common that we wouldn't take our shoes off, especially my non-Asian friends' houses.
Oh yeah.
But more and more now, it feels like everyone's taking their shoes off. I don't know. What do you feel?
Like regardless of race.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think like on the internet there was a lot of like shaming of Americans, of white people and black people and just non-Asians that they're not taking off their shoes and it's just like unhygienic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even your white friends, do you take off your shoes when you go to their house now, or do they ask you to, or do they not care?
No, we all take off our shoes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I had a funny moment. So I was in the U.S. in July, and we were having a small gathering at my home, and this white guy walks in. He's the only guy with his shoes on. He doesn't take them off.
Oh.
And I think like within 5 minutes, he notices like, oh, why am I the only one with my shoes on? And so he quietly excuses himself, takes them off, and comes back.
Oh.
But again, I wasn't gonna say anything. I would have been fine if he kept them on. But I think he had some nunchi and noticed that.
Nice. Nucci.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also want to do another fact check, right?
Oh yeah. So okay, Lydia, on our podcast again, the goal is every week we bring up one subject, and then we just kind of dissect it and discuss it from a Korean perspective and an American perspective. And one of the episodes, just one small segment came up where we were talking about what is considered healthy and unhealthy foods. And I think I'll say I think this was my first bad take on the episode, in that most Americans would not agree with me. So I wanted to use you as a chance to fact check this.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So when you think of crabs or lobster, on a scale of unhealthy, neutral, or even healthy, how would you rate that?
What you have to, so 10 being completely healthy.
I was just gonna go like unhealthy. Okay, fine. We can do that. So 1 being super unhealthy, 5 being neutral, and 10 being very healthy. Where would you put crabs on that scale, and where would you put lobster on that scale?
Crabs and lobster? I don't know. But I think they're both pretty healthy.
Okay, how healthy?
Like 7, 8?
No. Okay,
And Lydia was born and raised in the
I
US.
disagree. Okay, 7 to 8. I mean, okay, we're putting like straight up veggies and like green salad, leafy greens like kale.
Okay.
That's a 10, right?
Yeah.
You're saying this is one up from that?
Wait, you're not going to school her
Okay,
opinion.
fine. I'm not gonna. All right, your
First reaction was that it's pretty healthy.
Wait.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like it's like, I don't see how it wouldn't be healthy.
Okay, well,
Right?
let's get the spectrum. Where would you put chicken, like chicken breast on that?
Chicken breast.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you go over it? Like, so 5 is what?
No, we're just trying to get your take.
Oh, 5 is neutral.
5 is neutral.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So where would you put like chicken breast,
chicken?
like lean chicken meat?
Oh,
or...
chicken breast would be like 9.
Oh,
10 maybe.
okay. So it's just slightly below.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you put fried chicken?
Fried chicken would be like 1.
Oh, okay. See, apparently Koreans don't think of fried chicken as like really unhealthy food.
What?
Yeah, because it's
Really?
a source of... No, I'm not saying that. If we think about it, we would think that it's unhealthy,
Mm.
but it's not like a concept per se, I think.
Yeah, I found this so surprising.
To me, you know what?
Yeah, that's
do,
super surprising.
do you know what's a 1 to me?
What's a one?
Pop-Tarts.
What? No, Pop Tarts are 5.
Yeah,
Pop-Tarts
no,
are
Pop-Tarts
5,
are not a
whereas
5.
fried chicken is 1? What are you talking
I'm
about?
just kidding.
No, I think Americans think that way though.
Really?
So June,
Because
Koreans
it's like pure sugar, like processed.
yeah, but do Koreans literally not feel guilty when you eat fried chicken? I feel guilty every time I eat it, but I
Same.
crave it, so
I guess it depends on the time that you eat it. If they eat it past midnight, then
so now the time plays
as
a
like
factor.
do you know what a yashik is?
No, what's
like your-
yashik?
Like your nighttime snack kind of.
Like fourth meal in America.
Yes.
midnight
yes,
Taco
exactly.
Bell.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Then they would feel slightly guilty.
Okay. But if you eat it as a meal, it's not that bad.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I feel like I'm with I don't think fried chicken's a 1,
Hmm.
but I think it's like a 3. Yeah. It's not good for
Yeah.
you.
Hmm.
Oh, I think I'm more influenced by my mom because she was telling me the other day about what she read or like what she like the information she got from her friends about
Yeah.
fried chicken. And I was like, the fact that it's like deep fried, it creates like deep fried twice.
Yeah, double
makes
fried.
It, yeah, like there's like a chemical or something that comes out that's really bad.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Ever since then, I was like, oh, okay, fried chicken is really bad.
Well, specifically Korean fried chicken, the double frying style.
Yeah,
It makes it
yeah.
extra crispy.
Wait, I didn't know Korean style
Uh-huh.
was a double fried
Oh,
style.
yeah, that's their innovation in chicken
Yeah.
tech.
Really?
Yeah. Koreans double fry it, which makes it extra crispy. And this is the first time I'm
Extra
hearing,
bad.
though, that it's really bad for you. Yeah.
Interesting. This is the first time I'm hearing that they double fry it.
Such an informative call, educational call.
Well, June, you've had like American style, right? Like Popeyes or KFC, like the
Yeah.
buttermilk, really thick batter.
But when it comes to KFC, I
Mm.
feel like there's not much of a difference between Korean style other than the fact that it's
Mm.
more salty.
I haven't had KFC in Korea. You're saying even in America, you don't see a difference.
Not that much of a difference.
I think Korean fried chicken's always much crispier.
Really?
Yeah, even than KFC.
Mm.
Yeah.
When I think about American chicken, fried chicken, I don't know if it's actually fried, but what comes to mind immediately is always buffalo wings.
Those are
Are they baked?
I bake them when I make them at home.
Oh, you make them home.
But
You make them?
okay. I never cooked
Wow.
before. I didn't cook that much before, but once I started, I have a family, and it just became so much easier to cook at home.
Mm,
Guys, making buffalo
Oh.
wings at home is the easiest thing.
Really?
really?
Yeah. You just put, you buy a bag of frozen things from Costco, or they don't have to be frozen, depends how fast you eat them.
The wings, you mean?
Yeah, the wings.
Yeah.
You bake them,
Mhm.
and then you literally toss them in some sauce, and they're so good.
Oh.
It's so easy.
But you make the sauce from scratch too, right?
I mean, you just buy.
Oh, you buy
We just
them.
buy like barbecue
Oh.
sauce to toss them
Oh,
in.
I
yeah.
see, I see.
But you can toss them in
Oh.
anything. Anyway, it's surprisingly easy.
Cool.
Oh, interesting.
Lydia, are you on this platform a lot? Like, do you use connecting often?
Do I use connecting often?
Mm-hmm.
I think I use it every once in a while because
Mm.
like if you're bored before bed and you just want someone to talk to,
Mm.
and like I've made a couple friends, and we add each other on Instagram and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yo,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have an Instagram handle.
Yeah. Would you
Oh,
like to
really?
follow
What
us?
is
It's called Korean American Podcast.
At Korean American Podcast.
Wait.
Okay, but I feel like I have to explain this to people when I say it. The whole thinking behind the name is not Korean dash American, or it's not even Korean space American.
It's
It's
Korean, period.
American period. So it's a Korean and an American. No hybrid nonsense here, even though I am Korean American. Yeah.
Wait, this is sick. Oh my god, Minjin Lee follows you guys.
Who's Minjin Lee?
Oh,
Oh,
are you kidding me? Yeah,
Pachinko.
Pachinko author. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Did you guys
actively
know?
I'm actively reading Pachinko right now because she followed us.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the drama on Apple.
The next season just came out, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did.
Mm.
And then I heard I'm one of those people that if there's a book and a movie, I want to read the book first.
Mm.
So I'm
Oh,
holding
yeah.
off on watching the drama until I finish the book. But
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. But I will say, like people usually do that because they think the movie or the remake, like the live action, usually doesn't like live up to your expectations.
Yeah.
But I think it did, and like it did for me because the live action, like what she did on camera, they did it like in a way that they could only do it on camera. Something that they could portray.
Yeah.
So they really they took advantage of like the medium of filming, which I think was super good.
No, I've heard that feedback too. That actually the drama or the drama was pretty good. Did a good job of it relative to the book. So
yeah,
Nice.
that's so crazy. Wow.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, give us a follow and no
Yeah, I just
pressure,
did.
but
I just
comment,
did,
subscribe. Thank you.
Cool.
This is how we're going to grow our podcast, June. One connecting call at a
one
time.
call.
One by one. It's almost as if
Wow.
like we're giving out flyers.
Yes.
In like Times Square.
That's
or
what it feels like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, but like they'll be loyal because you have like a connection with every single one of them.
Connection through connecting.
Yes, exactly.
No, this app is again, it's surprisingly fun. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Nice.
Cool. Well, it's been a delight talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, and we got to fact check.
I got owned. Yeah. An 8. No, okay, 8 is crazy.
Small talk is still a bit uncomfortable for me, but like talking to people like you, Lydia, makes it very comfortable. I think you're a very nice person to talk to.
Yeah, you guys are great people to talk to.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yes.
maybe never talk to you again.
Oh no.
DM us if you have any feedback.
She's gonna follow us.
Yeah, she said she already followed us, June.
Oh.
Yeah, DM us if you want to connect on anything else. Yeah, that sounded a little
for
bit
sure.
awkward.
What? That pause made it
I was
sound
not
very
insinuating
awkward.
anything.
No worries.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Bye.
Nicely done, June, on the hygiene.
Yes. I wish for more, boomer tone back in my days.
Oh, back in my day. Originally, it sounded like I thought you were going to get to try to have her say it, which is a different stipulation. That would be fun too.
I'm gonna do that for the next call.
Okay. That's a different stipulation, though.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
kind of
gonna
an
do
improv thing.
I'm gonna do it for when we speak in Korean.
Oh, to try to get them to say it?
Yes.
June, I'm already going to be struggling with the Korean. That's unfair. Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, that was our first talk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's do some more later.
Later in the evening.
Okay.
Okay, Daniel.
June.
So for this call,
Yeah.
we're gonna try to get stereotypes of Americans
Okay,
from
that's good.
Koreans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know our last reels about? I remember the one with BO.
Uh-huh.
Fabio.
Okay.
Very recently,
Yeah.
someone commented
Uh-huh.
on the reels for the BO,
Uh-huh.
and this person got very technical with like the genes.
Yeah. I didn't see that
like
comment, but
111 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I've read the article about this.
yeah, but those are my sort of stereotypes of Americans from Koreans.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to learn like what are other stereotypes that Korean people think about Americans.
I'm curious too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard all of yours, but
Anyways,
all right, should we call then?
yeah, let's call.
No, wait, we need to do the stipulation.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Well, I'll tell you after I dial. 1 second. Okay, I'll go either gender this time. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. What word?
Inside
blossom.
clothes.
Wait, what? Inside clothes?
Inside clothes.
Okay, yours is cherry blossom.
Okay. Cherry blossom.
I'm gonna forget inside clothes.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you use connecting often?
Actually, I've used it sometimes, like when I'm boring at night before I go to sleep.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, that seems to be
Yeah.
common.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, just for like time killing.
yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
Hey, so are we gonna introduce ourselves?
we should.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, I'm Jun.
I'm Daniel.
Hello.
Hi.
You should say like I'm
I'm-
Korean. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I'm So-yeon.
Hi, So-yeon.
And yeah, and I'm Korean.
Korean. I'm Korean too.
I'm American.
The reason why we're two people on the other end is because we're doing a podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, we're recording right now as we speak to you.
Mm-hmm. You'll actually be on the podcast.
Yes.
Only if you are okay with it. And we'll have you sign a consent form later. But if you're not okay, then, don't worry.
I'm really okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, some confidence. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you know what a podcast is, by the way?
Yeah, I've heard it before because one of my favorite YouTuber, she also opened her own podcast channel.
Oh, what's this podcast?
Her name is HemTube in Korean.
HemTube.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Shout out to HemTube.
Yeah.
Free advertising for HemTube.
Shout out to HemTube. So yeah, and I listen to her podcast during like doing some laundry or washing some dishes. Yeah, it was really nice to hear someone like chatting with their like comments. Yeah.
Cool. I feel like the popularity of podcasts is going up these days.
Even in Korea.
In Korea, yeah. Definitely in the States,
sure.
it's like a culture now, right?
Yeah, podcasts have been huge in the US for a while.
Yeah. But then for some reason, I think Korean people like to listen to or watch YouTube more. And I think one of the big reasons is because American people drive everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, so they can't actually watch a video while they're driving.
Yeah.
So podcasts are very popular. Whereas Korean people, a lot of them, especially people living in the Seoul area, they take public transit.
Yeah.
So like their hands are free, right? So they can watch video.
Well, Jun, I was going to say, I feel like Koreans are watching videos while they're walking around everywhere. Which they probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, that's true. I do that a lot too.
You know, at the crosswalks in Korea, the ground has like the red and the green, so you can cross or not.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that's because people are always looking down at their phones.
Yeah.
And otherwise they would miss the signal.
I saw that like this kind of reaction YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That like foreigners come to Korea and they watch the sidewalks and whoa, what's that? And everyone was surprised. But yeah.
Yeah, I had
we're
the
really
same.
familiar to that.
I had the same reaction when I first saw them. But honestly, I was looking down at my phone, so I was like, "Oh wow, this is helpful." Yeah.
Yeah.
So Korean people are famous for always looking at their phones, and that could be one of the stereotypes of Koreans.
Yeah.
But So-yeon, we want to talk about one topic that we're very curious about, which is like what type of stereotypes that you have as a Korean towards Americans.
Yeah, I'm very curious because
we have one American here.
Actually, I've been to the United States once.
Oh, you have?
And the thing that I was surprised that I think Americans they're almost living at their car.
Oh.
They do not leave their car. Like
Yeah.
they always go to drive-through or like
That's true.
they only. I thought there's almost all people have their own car.
Yeah,
yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, I just went to CrossFit in Korea, but with my Korean American friend, and he changed in and out of his CrossFit clothes in the car. And for me, it felt very natural.
Yes.
But for you guys as Koreans, would that feel a little weird? What do you think about people just changing clothes in their car or whatever, using it as like their storage or closet?
Oh, you change your clothes in your car?
Yeah.
But there's black box in the car. CCTVs, and you might be like taken in one video.
That's true, I guess.
Wait, does a black box
record interior?
record inside of the car too?
I always thought it was outside, but who knows? Oh yeah, it records like the driver, I think. Maybe.
Oh yeah, like the Uber incident.
Yeah, so be careful.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's true.
So, Daniel, is this stereotype true or false?
100% true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We do
Yeah.
drive-through everywhere. The car gets super dirty. You keep clothes in there. You know, you keep the trunk basically as your personal closet,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether it's gym
Oh,
equipment or whatever, you just keep stuff in there.
that's
Yeah.
why.
So I think that's pretty true.
Mm.
I've slept in my
Yeah.
car many times too in the US.
You slept in
Really?
your car?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just
Mm.
Why? Because of weathers?
no, when there's I mean, for whatever reason, I don't know. Whether you're like camping, you might want to sleep in your car, or
Mm.
yeah, it's too cold in the tent.
Do you know when I like to camp?
When?
During springtime,
When it's warm?
when the cherry blossoms are.
That's true.
When there are a lot of cherry
Oh,
blossoms.
June.
Yeah.
Okay. So, have you ever been camping?
Camping?
Mm-hmm.
I went to glamping with my
Oh, glamping.
glamping and with my friends.
Mm.
There were beds in the tent.
Uh-huh.
I think it's not like real camping,
Yeah.
but like we had some barbecue
Nice.
and some s'mores,
Mm-hmm.
like marshmallow things.
Oh, s'mores. Yeah, I think
So
s'mores
I
are a
think that's
thing.
camping.
Yeah, Koreans love s'mores, huh?
They don't like
Yeah.
it.
Oh, they don't like it.
I don't think they like it. I haven't seen anyone who liked s'mores after they had it.
But I think because Koreans have like stereotype, like marshmallow has lots of calories.
Yes.
Ah,
They
so it's
might be
bad for you.
scared to eat it. Yeah. They
So
like it,
I
but
feel
they're
like it's
stereotype.
I feel like it's become a thing that you have to do
When you camp.
when you camp,
Yeah.
because they see in the media that a lot of Americans do it.
Mm.
But I feel like 9 out of 10 Korean people have it, and then they say it's too sweet,
Oh,
and they don't like it.
they're kind of disappointed.
Wait, So-yeon, did you like it after you had s'mores?
Yeah, I
Oh,
like
you
sweet
liked it?
things. Yeah.
So you had the graham crackers and the chocolate and marshmallows all together?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's legit.
Yeah, real
that is
s'more.
legit.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like Koreans like glamping more because it's, you know, when they're so hygienic when they go like home, you know, they want to change out of their clothes into their inside clothes and just, you know, brush their teeth all comfortable, right? But in America, honestly, when I go camping, I'm just like wearing the same thing. I'm not changing into pajamas, right? It's kind of roughing it a bit, but I don't think Koreans like that.
Yeah, I think the Koreans, they really love convenient things.
Yeah.
So comfortable things. So that's the big reason why people like glamping more.
But okay, this is a controversial take for an American, but I'm just gonna say it because I really feel this. I think s'mores are overrated as well. They are very tasty, but they're very messy, first of all, right? And then honestly, you know, the graham cracker, chocolate, and marshmallow, the chocolate doesn't really melt that much usually for me. And it doesn't become like one thing. It's
Yeah.
almost just like eating 3 distinct things in one sandwich. So I feel like it's also fantasized in America too. Like you have to eat s'mores when you go camping.
I see.
And then everyone, I mean, they are good, but I think they're slightly overrated. And people just pretend to like it even though we really don't.
Oh yeah, it's one of those foods where you have to pretend that you like it.
Yeah, no one's gonna like not say they love s'mores when they eat it.
Yeah.
Because it's just built up in your mind to be such an awesome thing. It's more the vibe of s'mores, right? You're roasting a marshmallow at a campfire. So anyway,
Yeah. I think the campfire is the big thing.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
we can just melt some marshmallows. Yeah.
Do you know that? There's one like unique aspect of Korean campfire these days.
What's that?
I went to a camping site, I think a year ago, and they usually sell like this packet of like this packet of substance, right? Where you throw it in the fire, and then the fire becomes very colorful.
Oh, I've never seen that.
It becomes like
I know that,
blue
I know
and
that.
green and
Oh, you've
stuff like
seen-
that. You've seen it,
Heard
right?
that too. Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It is pretty
I
cool.
want to see that.
It's like magic sand thing.
Oh, sorry. One more thing before we move on. Do you know the Korean cracker snack like binche or birch? Is it binche?
Binche.
Yeah, binche.
Yeah, pinch.
That's like whenever I have that, I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's
this is
perfect.
tailor made
For a s'more.
for s'mores.
Oh yeah, you
like
just have to put
binche
the...
should market that as the Korean
Oh.
s'more cracker, and they would just kill it. Yeah, it's like the camping essential item.
That's genius,
Yeah,
actually.
just put
I haven't
marshmallow
thought
between
about
two
it.
binche.
Yeah.
That's the perfect s'more,
Ooh. Ooh.
right? right?
I should try that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-yeon, have you what are your takes on small talk? Because we're talking about small talk on our episode today.
Mm.
Ah.
Actually, I think you're very good as a Korean.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've heard a lot.
That you're good?
That you're
In
good at small
Korea?
talk?
In Korea, when we start small talk,
Mm-hmm.
like some like ice-breaking things,
Mhm.
we usually talk about our MBTI. Have you heard about it?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It keeps
yeah.
coming up.
That is that is the perfect thing to
Oh, ice
talk with
breaking.
some strangers.
You-
Like some, not like 100% strangers, but
Yeah.
some people who we're going to like communicate with.
Mhm.
So,
You know,
Yeah.
maybe that's why MBTI became so famous.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah,
it
I
gave
think
Koreans something to small talk about.
yeah, because like when I visited the United States, like they're really good at small talking.
Yeah.
Mm.
So at the first time, I thought I was very extroverted person in
Mhm.
Korea, but when I
Ah.
go to America, I was kind of like shy person. So
Mm.
Oh.
I feel like, what? Why are they so like outgoing and why they're so good at small talking?
Daniel, do Americans usually know what their MBTI is?
I'd say most Americans have heard of it by
Yeah.
the time they're in like their 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just start a conversation with like, what's your MBTI? I think Americans would be like, what's going on?
It's a kind of weird thing to
It-
ask, what's your MBTI?
It's not necessarily weird, but it's not at the forefront of everyone's mind, right? People talk about sports or their weekend plans or, you know, hobbies they're into, etc. But like leading with MBTI is a bit aggressive, I'd say. Yeah.
I think like we talk about our MBTI because it is not too personal things. Like if we
Ah.
ask about some like what are you going to do on your weekend, it might be like personal things. Like
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I feel like MBTI is more personal than weekend plans,
oh really?
right? It's about you versus like what you're doing. It's a bit neutral. I don't know.
I see.
Ah, I haven't thought about it like that.
Interesting. Well, So-yeon, we would love to talk with you for hours and hours
Yeah.
because I think it's very enjoyable to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. But we also want to talk to other people in this platform.
Whoa, Jun, that's horrible small talk
Why is
tradition.
that?
What? You can end it more gracefully than that.
Okay. Show me how is a good way to end this.
I don't know. So-yeon, what are you doing after this call?
Ah, my pet. I have a pet, and my dog
Oh.
is barking outside, so I should probably run outside and take care of her.
Okay,
Ah.
yeah, we understand. We got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what pet do you have though again?
I have a dog. Poodle.
Ah.
Poodle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, pure poodle, not a hybrid?
I think she's pure. I'm not sure.
Oh,
But
that's a
yeah.
bigger dog for...
No. Not that big poodle.
but
She's
still,
like
poodles are
small
bigger
poodle.
for...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, like a toy poodle maybe.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, we love dogs too. Or we both love
Yeah.
pets.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
So-yeon, yeah. I wish we could
Thank
get one more
you.
stereotype in, but maybe next time.
Oh, I'll teach you one stereotype that
Okay.
most of Korean raises poodle. It's kind of one.
Oh, then...
Oh, a Korean stereotype is like,
like-
Poodles are really in right now?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think it's because they're small
Mm-hmm.
and they don't shed as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And poodles are
yeah.
known to be highly intelligent.
Oh, are
Yeah,
they?
I think they're one of the smartest
Right.
breeds.
Mm.
Okay, it was really fun. Thank you, So-yeon.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Nice, Jun. Wait, sorry, was I too mean?
Were you too mean? I
Yeah.
thought you were saying that I was too mean.
No, I mean too mean about you being like abrupt.
Oh no. Well, I thought this is natural culture in connecting. Because
Oh, is it?
I'll move on to the next one. Kind of.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't know. What do you think? This is interesting to me.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, because it's interesting because I think Koreans, a stereotype I have about them is they end their conversations really abruptly.
Oh, really?
Especially on the phone.
Do you know what Korean people do when they hang up the phone?
Different. like, right? No, but I'll be talking with my grandma, especially
Uh-huh.
older people.
Yeah.
She'll like literally hang up on me. I'm like, oh, 할머니, oh, I love you. Like, like
Older people tend to do that
yeah.
because they don't.
There's
I
no
feel like they
manners.
don't. They haven't had a lot of conversations.
No, I don't know.
Period.
Anyway.
Or like on the phone conversations,
Oh,
especially.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, but sorry, you and your friends, like when you're on the phone, how does it usually end? Like,
You know, like these days, we don't usually.
I know it's
speak on
rare
the
to
phone.
talk on the phone.
So
Same
I
in
kind
the
of.
US.
So I kind of forgot how it ends.
Okay.
알겠어.
Yeah.
다음에 또 통화해.
Okay.
안녕.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay, gotta go. Call you next time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I feel like that would be more natural. Like, oh, sorry, we have to go now. Versus like, it seems so forced. Like, oh, it's been great talking to you. I wish we could talk to you all night, but we have to go now. You know?
I thought I was being polite.
Oh, maybe you were. Maybe I'm off.
I don't know.
All right. Next one. Let's go again. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I'm calling. Okay, wait. All right, we're about to connect.
Yeah.
What's the stipulation? 3, 2, 1.
Yours is skr.
What? Yours is Corp Core.
Hello?
Hi.
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 So let us introduce us to you, and then we'll explain why there are two people on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
But my name is Jun.
I'm Daniel.
Hi.
Hi.
You.
I'm Grace.
You have an American name or an English name.
Oh, did you guys know this? Amongst Korean Americans, at least, I think Grace is one of the most common names, at least from my generation. Maybe not true anymore,
Yeah, I know at least 3
but
Korean or Korean Americans
Yeah.
who have
I
the name
think
Grace.
that's because of my parents.
Yeah, of course.
They're
Yeah.
Christian, so Grace is kind of obvious name in Christian.
Do you know about podcasts? I'm curious, what podcasts have you listened to or heard about before? Because podcasts aren't that popular in Korea yet.
Yeah, right. But I think it's not popular yet. But absolutely, there is some group of dedicated fan.
Oh.
Yeah, especially for those who enjoy retro vibes.
Retro?
It's kind of like
Ooh, yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
heard
it's
that before.
it's similar with kind of radio.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, so and also unlike YouTube where everything is edited, podcasts provide a kind of more raw and unfiltered experience.
Yeah.
So that's why some kind of people like this, but it's not that popular because of the lack of marketing.
Oh, marketing.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah.
We should market
Yeah.
ourselves more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not that a big fan of podcasts, but I usually sometimes a few years ago I listened to podcasts to make use of time while I commute to schools or
Oh, were you driving when you commuting to school?
nah, I just took a subway.
I see.
Yeah, but I can't while I in a subways because it is so crowded. So the only thing I can do is just listening some things. But sometimes just listening to music is bored. So much bored. So I just want to make the time valuable. So at that time, I used to listen to podcasts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that I didn't know the existence of podcasts before I went to US. I've been in US 2 years ago, and I lived there for a year. And I've done some kind of program in community college, and in some lectures, professors gave me
some assignments using podcast. So that's why that was the first experience for me to use the podcast. And after the life in the US and come back to Korea, I used the podcast again. Most of my friends didn't know what was I doing. What are you listening?
Yeah, exactly.
Because everyone was listening kind of YouTube or just doing Instagram things.
So Grace, I can tell that your English is very good. And so I'm assuming that you would maybe invest a lot of time in English studying or consuming English content.
Yeah,
So
right.
I was going to ask, when you're listening to podcasts, do you also listen to English content as well? Oh, really?
Yeah.
So have you heard of this podcast called Korean American Podcast? Oh, you
You
have?
have?
I'm not sure it was the Korean American.
Okay.
I see.
Well, we do a podcast.
Oh, that's why you asked me.
Yes.
Oh, what's the name of the channel?
It is called Korean American Podcast.
Classic.
Classic.
So
yes.
simple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Interesting.
I should listen to it.
You should listen to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Grace, do you
great.
also listen to fashion podcasts?
Not usually, but
Not usually.
sometimes.
Are you into fashion? Are you interested in fashion in general?
Most of the Korean women are interested in fashion, I think.
What type of fashion do you like? What style?
It's not like hip style. I usually prefer kind of modern and classic.
Classic.
What was that trend that was in Korea recently?
Where you wear like, what do you call it?
What was it called? Looks like
Y2K?
it was like sporty outerwear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Grace, have you heard of this style called the gorpcore look?
Of course.
Oh, you know.
Of course. Okay. So you
Oh.
are into fashion then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm certificated.
Yeah, you're a certified fashion expert. Nice.
So how come you guys started the podcast
Oh, that's a
about
great
the
question.
American Koreans?
Yeah, that is a good question. Well, we used to be coworkers, and at lunchtime we always talked about, I guess, as an American living in Korea for the first time, I had so many questions about Korean culture, and yeah, I am Korean American, and I think modern Korea was so different from how I thought it was at first. And they use all sorts of English, and I feel like they have weird slang like skr and things like that. So I had no idea what was going on, and so I would just ask June all the time at lunch, "Hey, like, tell me about this, tell me about that." And our coworkers found these conversations, I think, so interesting too, and that gave us the, I think, motivation and encouragement to, hey, maybe other people would like to listen to these conversations as well. So yeah, that's kind of how the podcast started.
Whoa. I think it might be really useful.
Yes, give us a listen. I mean, I'm not gonna make you go follow us right now, but if you want to.
So I thought that I should tell you guys the kind of Korean perspectives on Korean Americans.
Oh, I would love
So-
that. Yeah.
I really, but it's kind of too much stereotypes for you guys, but just it's based on my experience.
No, I would love to hear. I'm so curious what Koreans think of
So-
Americans. So.
Okay, so when I was in US, I've been in the university like Urbana-Champaign in Illinois.
Yeah. In Illinois.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I stayed there and I spent lots of times with my friends, and some of them were Korean Americans.
Mm-hmm.
But, but some was difficult for me to
You can speak freely. I won't be offended.
together. For example, like there was an episode, like there was a friend who insisted on using informal language in Korean 반말.
Oh.
Yeah, because he was technically older by Korean age standards, but when he made mistakes, he would excuse himself like, I'm American.
Yeah.
I didn't know Korean culture well, like this. So he kept saying 반말, informal language, in every time. But I think it's like more related to American culture. Like they don't have kind of informal and formal languages, like strict standard, right? And also he seemed proud of his Korean heritage, saying it has something that makes him unique.
Yeah.
Even though he can't speak Korean often.
Yeah.
He can speak Korean, but he kept introducing to others like, I'm Korean.
Yeah, I mean, this one's a tough one to hear because it's very true. I think Korean Americans do really think of ourselves as Koreans too. At the same time, it makes me cringe a little bit hearing that he was so informal. You know, even he was so proud of his heritage, even though he couldn't speak the language.
Yeah,
And then,
right.
you know, using it almost incorrectly and probably borderline even disrespectfully and rude, but being completely unaware of it, right? So, yeah, I'll just say I agree. You were right. There's no hierarchy in language in English. And so it's hard for us to really understand how deeply ingrained that is into Korean culture and language, and how Koreans might even be offended or feel like disrespected if someone uses banmal. And I'll give you my perspective too after moving to Korea and living here now for 3 years. Sometimes I use 존댓말, like formal language, to everyone, including little kids. And my wife tells me all the time, like, please stop. It is so awkward when you use 존댓말 to a little 5-year-old kid. It's just weird. But I don't know any better. And so I'm trying the other way. Like, I'm trying so hard to be respectful and proper because I don't know when it's safe to use banmal. And banmal to me feels so uncomfortable because I feel like I don't know when to use it. I don't want to, offend anyone. And so anyway, that's just an example where it's so unnatural for us to think, okay, when do we use formal? When do we use casual?
Yeah, it is still difficult for us, for Koreans, to differentiate the informal and formal language. Yeah, we also feel kind of difficult in that way. So no worries, it's super natural for you guys to have that hard time.
No, but I'm going back and thinking of all the conversations I had with, Koreans like 유학생s or, my relatives where I probably maybe misspoke or did something to offend them without knowing. And anyway, I'll just say, sometimes people are going to do it intentionally, but I bet a lot of times people are completely unaware that they're using the wrong language or the wrong tone or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of just episode for me, just one episode.
I'm curious, as a Korean, do you think of Korean Americans as Korean at all? Or do you think of them as, really, they're just American?
There are American.
Yeah, I think that's...
Yeah,
painful to hear, but after living here, I think you're right. And I'm coming to terms with that. Yeah.
Because I think the environment is really important to designate the identity of human. So like there is another episode for me.
Please, yeah, I love this.
I noticed that most of the Korean American friends when I lived in US, they were all like early 20s, and they were same age with me,
Mm-hmm.
and I often saw them naturally spending a lot of time with Korean international students.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this, it seemed like their way of interacting with people, a mix of both American and Korean cultures. So I think this sometimes caused a bit of confusion for them. For example,
yeah.
there were times when they couldn't quite understand certain behaviors that were so easy for me as a
Oh.
Korean to interpret. So I noticed many of them ended up forming their own clubs, like Korean American clubs or kind of communities to hang out with each other.
Yeah.
So Korean Americans hang out with Korean Americans.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, and some Korean international students hang out with Korean international students. And I saw the two groups. I think it seems more natural to see just two groups distinctly.
I see.
Yeah. I'll just provide again my perspective on this. So in college, I went to college a long time ago, so I think I'm much older. But I really, whenever I saw the Koreans, like the, 유학생s or international students hanging out, I always wanted to be in that group, but I never felt able to. Maybe there was a language barrier, but even more that there was the cultural barrier too. And so I don't think it's for lack of desire. It's more just, I tried. It didn't work. I felt awkward. And so I just went to I guess my comfort blanket is other Korean Americans because I really feel like a lot of Jung in a sense. And yeah, I feel a lot of camaraderie with them. So yeah, it's not maybe, again, for lack of desire or interest, but Korean Americans really have a hard time, I think, interacting with and understanding Koreans. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I really wanted to hang out with Korean American friends because I went to US to improve my English skills. So I have to speak English, but when I just hang out with Korean international students, I usually do the Korean, so it doesn't make any sense for me. But whenever I try to stay close with Korean American friends, they sometimes speak Korean, but suddenly they speak. For me, like, I was so shocked. So, how can I say? Should I say Korean or should I say English? Because at the time my English pronunciation was not that good. So
it's definitely for Korean Americans when we speak Korean, it's kind of funny to us. It's like a novelty. I think, like on P6 show, right? When they speak English sometimes, they're doing it in a funny way.
Yeah.
And Koreans will just laugh hearing them speak English. So I think it's similar, which again, I could see it being a little bit rude to Koreans. But, well, I'll just say, Grace, from my perspective, whatever you did in America, it worked because your English is great. Super natural,
thank you.
perfect,
Very good.
accent. So yeah. It worked. It paid off. Whether whoever you hung out with or whatever you did, it worked. So, okay. Well, I think we have to go. Please give us a follow and listen on, Instagram or whatever podcast platform you like if you are interested, but no pressure. It was great talking with you.
It was very great
yeah,
talking
so
to
the
you.
name of the channel is Korean American Podcast.
Correct.
Yes.
To remember.
Yep. Okay. Tell your friends.
Right, Grace, it was
Okay.
lovely talking to you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Okay, for this one,
It's our last one, June.
yeah, this is our last one.
Okay.
Yeah. We also want to hear, because we never had a chance to hear Korean stereotypes from Americans.
Okay. Yeah.
Stereotypes of Koreans
Yeah.
from Americans.
Okay.
Right? We never had a chance to do that. Or
Right.
actually, you kind of did.
Well,
But like,
let's call someone from America then this time. Okay.
yeah,
And
let's
ask them
connect
about
someone from
stereotypes
America.
for you.
Yes. And I'm gonna defend as much as possible.
There's no defending. All right, June. You drive this. Let's see your small
Natural
talk game.
Korean.
Let's see after all these talks, has your small talk improved? Are you ready?
But yeah, are you ready with the
Are we gonna
keyword?
do stipulation?
Yes. Just anything random on your
I know.
side.
Wait, I'm looking for something. No, okay. Black Mirror.
Black Mirror? Okay, yours is Bitcoin.
What? Okay, connecting. All right, we're connected. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. How are you
Hi.
doing?
Good.
My name is Jun.
I'm Daniel.
Nice to meet you. I'm Sarah.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Sarah.
What was that?
Sorry, that was my door.
Oh, that oddly sounded like a woman screaming.
Yeah, I thought it was like a cat scream or something.
No.
Are you currently in America?
I am, yes.
Oh, what
Oh.
time is it there?
It's around 10 a.m.
Oh, okay. You're on the East Coast then.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Which part of the East Coast? May I ask?
Wait,
I'm
let's
in
just
New
try
York right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Oh.
Hmm.
It's Labor Day, so we're
Oh,
kind
it
of
Oh,
just
that's
chilling
right.
today.
Yeah, you have a day off
Mhm.
today.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, we actually have a podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you listen to podcasts?
Occasionally, but not too much.
That's
Yeah.
okay. You'll come around.
I could be a fan.
Mhm.
So
What's your guys' podcast about?
our podcast is called Korean American Podcast. And it's actually, so Daniel here is American and I am Korean. So
Oh,
the
okay.
purpose of this podcast is to talk about different topics in a perspective of an American and a Korean in hopes of trying to understand each other's culture better.
Wait, let's use our tagline. One Korean, one American, one topic weekly.
Yeah.
It's kind of cheesy now that I say it, but I like it.
I love it.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
What if you don't mind, can you share with us your ethnic background?
Yeah, so my parents are both originally from Korea. My dad's from Seoul and my mom's from Busan.
Oh, nice.
Where are you
And
really
then-
from? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
And then my dad moved to the States and then he met my mom. And then I was
Oh.
born.
Oh, so you were born in the U.S.
Yes.
Ah, cool.
I
Yeah.
was. Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I asked is because I think Korean people have a lot of like stereotypes towards Americans, and mostly because they only understand Americans through media or like small parts of what they understand. But I'm pretty sure Americans also have stereotypes towards Koreans as well. And so today we wanted to see if we can get any stereotypes that you had for Koreans from an American.
Put another way, Jun here is Korean. He doesn't have many American friends. I'm
No,
his
I
only
don't.
one.
Pretty much.
So we want to use this chance to hear what other people besides me think of Koreans, if you would be inclined to share.
Yeah, of course. I guess one main thing would be that, there's a lot of Korean culture that's spreading across the world, but I think one main part would be Korean beauty.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah. So I think a lot of what we hear is about, makeup, skincare, and also plastic surgery. So I think we would all just naturally be more inclined to think that Koreans are really focused on how they look and their outward appearance. So I'm wondering if that would be true, like relatively to other places.
100% true.
1000% true. Yeah.
I think Korean people in general are very interested in looks, how they look, or like they want to look younger, or they want to look more beautiful, or they want to look better. And yeah, it goes hand in hand with like how the beauty, like the cosmetic industry is such a huge thing in Korea, and also plastic surgery and like all those types of things. Yeah, so I I think it's safe to say it's not a misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
It is a stereotype, but we live up to that stereotype, I guess.
Would you say that people get stressed out by that, or has everyone just gotten used to it?
I think there's an underlying level of stress, I think. Yeah. It's like, so I always like to put it this way when I compare the United States to Korea. Like when you go to the States, I feel like you, wait, I want to say this in Korean.
눈치 없었어.
Oh, do you speak any Korean, by the way, Sarah? Or do you understand
I
Korean?
do.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
So I like to
I'm
say
gonna
like
speak English.
So embarrassing.
like 미국에 가면 몸이 불편하고 마음이 편하고, 한국에 가면 몸은 편한데 마음이 불편하다. Did you understand what I said?
Oh, yeah, but how would your mom be more 편해?
In Korea? Because everything's so convenient, right? Like everything's like within walking distance, like whatever you order would come the next day, or
Oh,
like
it's true.
yeah. Whereas like
Yeah.
in
Even the convenience stores.
yeah, like whereas in the US, like you have to drive out somewhere, like so it's a hassle for your for your body, I guess, physically. But like I feel like you're
That
more
makes sense.
liberated in your mind. You can do whatever you want, you can wear whatever you want, like no one cares how you look, so you feel more like your mind is more 편해, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just embarrassed because I often say a lot of Korean Americans don't speak good Korean. But it seems like every time we talk to one, their Korean's good, except for me. So, yeah. Anyway, congratulations on being bilingual.
Thank you.
What do Americans usually do on Labor Day? Is there a thing that you do?
No,
Yeah, not really.
yeah.
Ah. Why are your Labor
Say-
Days different from ours?
I don't know. I don't know why they picked a random. I'm sure there's some history behind it, but it's the first Monday in September. You know, it used to be when we were going to school would start after Labor Day, right? So, like, let's say whatever, September 4th or whatever.
Oh.
Now, in the US, school starts like mid-August in some places. If I was a kid growing up now and knowing that school starts 2 weeks earlier, I'd feel robbed. Yeah.
Oh, I think for me, school's always started like
Earlier.
end of August-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're much younger. Yeah. When I was growing back in my day, we started school after Labor Day. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
So then, were you born and raised in New York or the tri-state area?
I was born in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love Chicago.
I always wanted to visit Chicago.
Oh, the suburbs of Chicago.
Yeah, I have to clarify that.
Yeah, there's certain suburbs that
Always.
are routinely voted like the best place in America to grow up. Yeah.
Oh, really? It was really peaceful there, and
Yeah, pretty idyllic.
yeah.
And Sarah, you said you live in New York right now?
Yeah, so I moved here a couple years ago for work.
Mm.
It's been pretty different, but I think it's a lot more fun than, the suburbs.
Is this your first time living in a proper city?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I think
So
people
it's nice that you can kind of walk.
pretty quickly know whether they are city folk or not. I'm a suburb guy.
Were you born and raised in the suburbs?
Yeah. I grew up in Maryland, in the suburbs of Maryland. So, and I lived in the Bay Area for a while, and I guess I lived in San Francisco proper for a little bit. Yeah, I'm just not a city guy, and I know New York's different, but yeah, I like my suburbs,
Guys, can I ask you
Yeah, I
a
think
very
so.
random question?
of course.
This is an English question. Because Sarah said that she moved to New York a couple of years ago, right? Whenever, so in my mind, when someone says a couple of years ago, it doesn't strictly mean 2 years ago, right?
No,
It means like
does.
2 years.
Well, I want to hear Sarah's thoughts.
You know, I used to think it was like a couple.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Those were similar.
Mhm.
But then one day someone told me, like, no, it's a couple. You're wrong. You're just absolutely wrong because a couple needs to be two. So then
Really?
after that, I
Yeah.
think I've just been using it as
Okay.
two.
In my mind, couple means two, exactly two.
Yeah.
And anything more, you could say few. Yeah.
Would you say some Americans use couple as like a few?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because every time I see like in the movies and I
Yeah.
see Korean subtitles
Uh-huh.
and they say like couple days ago, they always translate it as like 2 days ago.
Uh-huh.
And in my mind, because in my understanding,
Yeah.
a couple of days ago is like a few days ago.
Well, Sarah was using it to not mean a couple people.
I know, right? So I wanted to
So
ask.
I would say yes.
Okay.
Mm.
So it's mixed.
Man, I feel like a boomer. Because I'm like, couple should mean two.
Mm,
I mean, we have few, right? So it's like I had a couple drinks, moved here a couple years ago,
yeah.
invite a couple friends. Those all mean two. Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway.
Mm. Do you have any, Sarah, any other stereotypes
yeah,
towards
yeah.
Koreans too?
Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Any other what?
Any other stereotypes that you have towards Koreans? Or you might feel like other Americans have towards Koreans?
Mm.
Oh, this is actually something that I'm not sure is true, but I think other Asian people think that Koreans are very like full of themselves and more vain than the other Asians.
Oh,
Like that's what
wow.
I've heard.
Yeah. This is a good one.
Yeah.
Like Koreans, right? Not Korean Americans. Or both?
I think slightly both,
Slightly both.
but
Interesting.
more so Koreans.
Do you think it's because like Korean culture is more highlighted in the global stage right now? Or have they always been full of themselves?
I think always. I think this global like Korean culture train is really helping that out, but I think it's always been like that.
Interesting.
Not in a bad way. I think Koreans always have loved their own country and like loved Korea,
Mm.
right? But I think nationalism is really strong there.
Whoa,
is what
what
June
would you say?
response.
But
Interesting. I do think Koreans have a sense of national pride, but I never thought it was stronger than any other country in general. But the reason why I asked about like K culture and everything is because I feel like Korean people feel more pride these days because it's like their culture is being more recognized.
Mm.
But as Sarah said, if it's always been this way, maybe I want to hear more from you, Daniel.
Well, I'm going to make an analogy. Sarah, do you know anyone from Maryland?
no.
Okay, well, you're missing out. But Maryland people have an incredible amount of pride being from Maryland. And I think it's because as a smaller state, we need to like maybe bond more with other Marylanders or feel super proud of ourselves because no one else is going to recognize us, but we have to recognize ourselves. And I think Korea being on the smaller end, maybe of Asian Americans, right? Chinese is obviously bigger. And honestly, Japanese Americans, you just don't see too many. And the ones that you do meet have been around like 3-4 generations. So in a sense, I feel like Koreans they're more vocal with their pride, I feel like. Yeah, Korean pride's like a thing. Growing up, I had a ton, basically infinite Chinese friends. There was no like Chinese pride, right? It was KP, Korean pride. And so I think, they're just more vocal because almost we need to be, because no one else will give us a recognition. Anyway, that's my feeling. I will say, even as the minority for Asian Americans, I never felt bad about it. I kind of I always liked being Korean growing up, feeling proud being Korean. So at least that's my perspective. Yeah.
This might be a controversial opinion, but one very interesting thing that I noticed about how Korean people refer to other foreigners, they sort of like they don't use honorifics for them when we're referring to
Oh, you're saying
foreigners.
in Korean?
Yeah. Like let's say I'm
interesting.
talking with my Korean friend and referring to a 외국인, right?
Yeah.
Korean people usually say like 개
Ah.
Like 걔는,
Oh.
Yeah.
like we never say like 그분은 or something like that.
Oh, really?
We naturally tend to hire someone, like honor someone else
Yeah.
that we don't know if they're Korean.
Yeah.
But for some weird reason, if we're referring to a 외국인 or a foreigner,
Yeah.
we always say like 걔는.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was super interesting
Mm.
because
I've never heard that before. Yeah.
even in the office place, like right now, maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe we should edit this out because some of my American coworkers might listen to this.
Yeah.
But anyways, when we're referring to people in the U.S. office and they're like not Korean,
Yeah.
like we very comfortably just say like 걔가
Uh-huh.
이랬는데 어쩌고 저쩌고,
Mhm.
and I feel like there's a sense of like, I don't know, I kind of feel like Korean people in a weird way have a pride that they're like higher
Mm.
higher than them for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can say it, June.
Yeah, it's reflected in the language.
It
right?
is. Yeah.
'Cause they,
when you
like-
put it that way, it sounds
Because we
very
never
clear.
say 걔 to some other Korean,
Yeah.
even if we don't know them.
Mm. Interesting.
Do you know what I mean, Sarah? Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've been talking to enough people from Korea to say so,
Mhm.
but I think that's really interesting that it's in the language itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think it's because maybe, like, even if the other person won't hear, they kind of know that they have a mutual understanding of the culture versus foreigners is, like, completely different. So in America, you won't use honorifics with anyone. So maybe they're, like, or Koreans are just unconsciously trying to, like, connect with that.
Yeah, we should get more into this later in some other separate episode,
Mhm,
but I think this is a
yeah.
very interesting topic.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? I guess how old are you?
I'm 24.
Ah, so you're working now? What do you do for work?
I'm in marketing.
Oh,
At an
interesting.
agency, yeah.
Yeah, nice. How'd you get into it?
How
Did you
old are
major in
guys?
it?
I majored in communications and business, so it was kind of
Ah.
natural for me to go into marketing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're much older. I just turned 40 this year.
Mm. And I'm 39.
Yeah.
Sarah, also the podcast that we're recording right now, the overarching theme is around small talk, right? So today, what
Oh,
we're actually
okay.
trying to do is talk to like random people and see like how American people actually engage in small talk, right? So I was wondering like, what are your thoughts on small talk culture in America? And like, do you enjoy small talk, or do you have any thoughts on this topic in general?
I think small talk is fine. I think it's really necessary, honestly. I don't understand the people who say like, I hate small talk and I would never engage in it, because how can you just jump straight into something really deep with a person unless it's like an artificial setting?
Mm.
Yeah. Koreans
Yeah,
hate
so
small talk.
Koreans hate small talk.
Koreans hate small talk,
Mm.
and as a
But how
consequence,
do
they
they
just don't.
engage?
They just don't talk. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Korean people only can start talking when the relationship is established. Otherwise, they
yeah.
don't know how to engage with them. Like, first of all, like if they don't know their age, right?
Mhm.
They don't know like in which language that they should talk in, and like what kind of topic that they should talk about, right? So small talk in like this very relationism driven country, small talk is very foreign, I guess, as a concept, or like very challenging.
I'll just say I've never had more, in my experience, awkward silences than in Korea. I'm just like standing next to someone in the elevator. I feel like I want to say something, but then I don't, right? No matter where it is. Like if I'm waiting in line at like, let's say Everland, right? The amusement park here.
Mm.
You'll be next to the people for a very long time.
Mm.
To me, it's so awkward that we're not exchanging, casual, like just casual conversation and things like that.
I actually love elevator small talk.
Yeah.
Or like I'm
In the
more-
US.
Yeah,
Oh,
I am
okay.
more okay with that because there's a definite ending.
And
Whereas like in the amusement park or like more famously in the plane, right?
Yeah.
If you start small talking with the person who's next to you, like I don't know when this is gonna end, which is like makes it kind of frustrating for me.
But I don't know. It's so easy in the US. You can bring up anything, right? Like, I don't know what you do last weekend. Do you invest in Bitcoin? Like, seriously, anything is fine, right? That's all fair game. Yeah. Anyway, that's my opinion.
Wait, I'm kind of curious. You know how in the US, when you walk through a park and you pass someone, you kind of always say good morning or hi or
Yeah.
something? Does that happen in Korea or no?
Never. Yeah, it would be
Just
very
in
awkward.
silence, you just walk past.
But you
Yeah.
know, there's a culture in which they do that in the mountains.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 안녕하세요.
You know what's weird? So for me, Sarah, I don't know what you were taught growing up, but for me, I was taught to insa to any Korean person I saw. Just like, you
Wow.
know, bow, 안녕하세요. And,
Yeah.
you know, you obviously can't do that in Korea. You would be bowing to everyone. But I still find myself wanting to. And I think the other person's kind of taken aback. I don't know. Sometimes I like to think, oh, like finally someone young with respect for me, right? If it's an older person. Well, I think most of the time they just ignore me and think I'm insighting to someone else or
Yeah.
they just don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But again, this was taught to me growing up. Were you taught that growing up? Did your parents ask you to inside to people like if you knew they were Korean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it kind of reflects on them. Because most of the
Ah.
Korean people I was around were people that my family knew. So if I didn't insa to them, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
parents
Oh, I
raised
see.
you wrong.
See, that's weird because I have kids in Korea too. I teach them to inside to people. I don't know if that's weird.
To random strangers.
Okay, here's an example. When you go to the convenience store, the 편의점, and we buy something from the clerk,
Yeah.
I want my kids to inside to them. Is that weird?
If little kids do that,
It's fine.
yeah,
It's good. Or is it neutral or is it
it's good. It's
Okay.
like it's cute,
it's
endearing.
respectful, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. How about people on the elevator?
Awkward.
Oh, okay. I teach my kids to inside to them. Yeah.
I mean, but if kids do that,
It's
it's kind of cute
Okay.
that way.
Yeah.
But like adults wouldn't do that.
I still give the nod on my way out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've
How-
I've seen it done to
What
me
were
too.
what were the reactions that you got?
I mean, I'm leaving the elevator, so my back's to them. I don't know, but I feel like it's a nice thing to do, common courtesy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's I like to think it's appreciated. I don't know.
I honestly think that Korea should be more like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What are you up to rest of the day? Your Labor Day?
I think I'm just resting, taking care of business.
Cool. Running errands, stuff like that.
Great.
All right. Well, again, I have friends who moved to New York, and again, they love it. They will never leave. And so, yeah, hope you enjoy your time in New York.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right.
It was very nice talking
Yeah,
to you,
very
Sarah.
nice talking to you.
You too, guys. Good night.
Bye.
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 I totally forgot the stipulation word. All right, Jun.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was it for our small talk episode. What you think?
I still don't, to be honest with you, I still don't love small talk,
Mm.
but I do. I mean, I kind of get it. I mean, I used to do small talk a lot when I was living in the States.
Yeah.
And I do kind of understand now why you missed it.
Yeah.
I think it's pleasant. Yeah.
I think you're better than me.
No.
No, really.
No.
You're quite good.
Really.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I also felt
I try.
awkward a lot more than I thought I would. Yeah.
It's because you're living in Korea for too long.
I think it's that combined with sometimes we just match with younger people. And yeah, honestly, like I don't have much in common with someone in their early 20s, right? And I just don't know what to talk about. I feel kind of weird. Yeah.
I think this is it.
Yeah.
It's because I dread the silence that much. I'm like more
have to fill it in
actively
with
trying to
something.
engage
Yeah.
in the conversation, maybe. But I did genuinely enjoy some of the conversations.
Yeah.
I think most of the conversations, to be honest.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of them could have gone a lot longer
Yes.
if we weren't trying to, cut them off and move
Yeah.
on to the next one. So, yeah. I mean, one of them even I'd love to get them on as a podcast guest. There was a ton of interesting things they were bringing up. So
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
They're very interesting takes.
yeah, but sadly, apparently, I was wrong about crabs and lobsters
Oh, yeah.
being unhealthy, at least from this small sample size. Yeah.
And today I learned that there is a stereotype towards Koreans that we are full of ourselves.
Oh yeah, did you not know that?
I did not know that.
But maybe before we end, June, I do have to defend my take
Mm-hmm.
on crabs and lobsters.
Okay.
But I realize it comes from a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever defended it on air yet, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
one, my dad had a heart attack when he was young, in his mid 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And I was honestly too young to really remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember, but it didn't mean much to me, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. I remember visiting him in the hospital, etc. But after that, my dad completely like did a 180,
Mm-hmm.
eating habits, everything, super healthy. And you know, he's turning 79 this year and still really, really healthy. So I think that combined with the fact that crabs, at least, again, I grew up in Maryland, you typically eat them as in crab cake form or with a ton of salt
Yeah.
and or literally dipping in melted butter. And so maybe crabs themselves aren't bad for you, but when you eat crabs, in my mind, it's an unhealthy meal because of all that other stuff. It's
I
either
see.
super salty. And then the final point I'll make is that I was polling a lot of my friends casually, and they all agree crabs are known to be high in cholesterol.
That is true.
And I think, again, maybe it's because of my dad's heart attack or whatever. I equate cholesterol with being very unhealthy. And maybe, you know, people are like, well, there's good cholesterol, there's, you know, etc. But they probably don't equate cholesterol to be as negative as I do. So that's just where it came from. But yeah, I'll agree. This was a bad take on my part.
Yeah.
I do believe most Americans would find it to be neutral to even maybe slightly on the healthier side for meat. But for me, yeah, I still in my mind think crabs and lobster I associate with being unhealthy. So yeah.
It's a good thing that, at least for Koreans, or I think Americans too, it's not like a daily thing that you can eat very often. So I think in that sense, even if it's unhealthy food, I think it's just more considered as a delicacy than
Yeah.
unhealthy food, I guess.
Anyway, it's the first time I feel like I had a really bad take. And so, yeah, I'm still a little bit sheepish and embarrassed, but it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah, we'll have these every once in a while anyways. Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Okay. Well, yeah, hopefully this, at least for our Korean listeners, I'm curious how they thought about the small talk. And in general, I know overall they don't like it, but hopefully this made them feel maybe more comfortable with it. I don't know.
I feel like, I mean, going back to Connecting's mission
Yeah.
of trying to solve like the modern day loneliness that everyone goes through, I think Koreans, like the modern day Korean culture is like, sometimes it feels too, it makes people too isolated because like they don't talk to anyone, right?
Yeah.
Like if you, like imagine if like you don't regularly commute to an office and like you're working from home or you like maybe you're not going to work and you don't have a lot of friends, then I feel like in Korea you would feel extra isolated compared to when you're living in the States, right? So I think in a sense like small talk culture could benefit Korea's like loneliness and isolation issue a lot.
Jun, you just described my life.
No.
But no, I've come to appreciate the solitude.
Oh no.
Is
I
that
don't-
too depressing?
I don't know if that's a good thing.
All right.
Yeah.
No, but no, I do agree that it would be nice. Like the one listener said, small talk's almost necessary to get to the more deeper conversations sometimes.
That's true.
And yeah, I think,
인정.
again, I do think small talk could have a lot of positive benefits to Korean society if it became more, commonly, accepted and, I don't know, just done. So
And also, I feel like Korean people sometimes are very fast to judge someone. But like if you actually start talking to them and get to understand where they're coming from,
yeah.
I think it lets you, really resonate with like why they're behaving that way or why they said that
Yeah.
to resolve, a lot of misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, I had fun. I guess we should thank Connecting for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sponsoring this episode.
Really fun show using the app and connecting with random strangers and just getting more perspective. So I
Yes.
really enjoyed it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, thank you for listening. Again, if you feel like this episode was worth 25 cents, consider supporting us on Patreon for a minimum tier of $1 a month. It would mean a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. But thank
Right.
you for listening
Thank you
and
for
being on this journey
listening.
with us.
다음 주에 만나요.
Bye.
Bye.
Jun,
Yep.
have you been recognized yet?
I kind of fantasize about that sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I'm walking through a large crowd,
Yeah.
I'm wondering at least like some people
Yeah.
in this crowd might be following us or subscribed to our channel.
Yeah.
Right?
But have you been recognized?
No, I don't think so.
Me neither. Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like they secretly recognize us.
Oh, you do?
Maybe I'm too full of myself.
No, I think because we don't do like the face on angle as much, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's hard to recognize us.
I feel like it's easier for them to recognize us
Yeah.
if we're together.
That's true.
Yeah.
But we don't hang out as that much anymore. Yeah.
Yeah,
We need to go out together.
we should. Why do you ask?
I'm just curious. I mean, like I wouldn't say I fantasize, but it would be cool to be recognized the first time someone just randomly recognizes us. If it ever happens, that'd be cool.
This is not the same,
Yeah.
but last week I was invited to my friend's house.
Yeah.
And they invited their friend too because their friend knew that they're following me.
Uh-huh.
And so they saw that we're mutual. And so they
Ah.
wanted to meet me.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
pretty
they
cool.
invited someone.
Yeah. At my wife's workplace, apparently some of them were excited when they found out, like, oh, you're married to like Daniel from like Korean American podcast.
That Daniel?
Yeah. Like this is Daniel, this is Jun, that Daniel. Like, but yeah, I don't know. Should we go on Connecting and see if people know who we are?
I really would love to. Yeah, really would love to know.
Let's do it. All right. Well, I'm gonna connect to all this time.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. You're gonna have to do most of the talking because it's Korean, though.
Oh, it's Korean.
Yeah.
But we'll have to do the intro.
Okay. Let's do it.
Or should we just like do the intro and then ask if they know us?
Oh, we're on.
여보세요?
안녕하세요.
여보세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
제가 뭐 물어보고 싶은 게 하나 있는데요.
네네.
혹시 팟캐스트 들으시나요?
그게 뭐죠? 라디오 같은 거죠?
아, 네, 맞아요.
아니요, 들어본 적 없어요.
아, 들어본 적 없구나.
아.
그러니까 팟캐스트가 뭔 줄은 아는데 들어본
네.
적은 없어요.
아, 저희가 지금 팟캐스트 중인데
네.
네.
혹시 팟캐스트를 아시는지 그리고 저희 채널을 아시는지 여쭤보려고 했는데 팟캐스트를 안 들으시는군요.
아유.
네, 그쵸?
알겠습니다.
네.
감사합니다.
감사합니다. Should we try again?
Let's try one
Let's
more.
try again.
Let's do 3 tries to see if I want to find someone who does listen to podcasts.
Yeah,
though.
let's try.
여보세요?
여보세요.
네.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
그 방금 왜 태국말 쓰시지 않았나요?
태국말이요?
네.
아닙니다.
맞는 것 같은데.
아니에요. 저 혹시 궁금한 거 있는데 하나 여쭤봐도 돼요?
네.
혹시 팟캐스트 들으시나요?
네?
팟캐스트 혹시 들으시나요?
죄송해요. 뭐 말씀하실지 모르겠어요.
아, 팟캐스트라는 걸 처음 들어보시는군요.
네.
네, 알겠습니다.
네.
네.
Wow, most of them don't even know what podcast is.
아휴, 아쉽다.
But did you understand what he said?
Are we from some other country?
Yeah, he's like, I'm sure someone spoke Thai.
Anyway, TLDR, we are not famous yet.